Yo, what's up fellas, it's LT, and today we're going to be going over my individual predictions for MCC 17. For the people who are subscribed to my channel via Dreadnought, make sure to read the description. There's been a lot of predictions for MCC 17 team placements, but today we're going to be going over every single player, all 40 players in MCC 17. Prior to most prediction videos, people say, oh, it's only opinion based. Don't roast me in the comment section because you think I'm wrong. Well, I'm different. You see, I'm always right. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. And if these players end up placing differently, they're also wrong. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I spent a lot of time on this video, so it'd be greatly appreciated. So let's get into it. Alright, first of all, I'm going to give an example of how it's going to look. So for the first example, we have in 41st place in the top left, you'll see that where they're placed, and then you'll see their name. In the bottom left, you'll have their photo, and in the top right, you'll have the team that they're on. In the average score, you'll see their average score, and then out of 37, because there's 3 new players. The stats score will show my prediction from the stats that I've used, and then the range shows where they'll be roughly placed. So if they end up placing over the range, then they did really well, and if they place under the range, they did really bad. So let's get into it. In 40th place, we have Shubble. This is kind of a risky pick as her average score is 1872, which places her in 28th place, which isn't bad at all considering there's 37 people in the average score. My stats score shows me that she'll come around 38th place with around 1450 points, but her range is quite big. She can range from 33rd to 40th place. The reason I placed her so low is because her team isn't that strong, so she won't get many points off of that. And that's why I think Shubble will come 40th place. In 39th, I have Vixella. Her average score is kind of scuffed because she's always played with the Simmers who are just in the event for fun. So she has an average score of 782, which is last by quite a large margin. My stats tell me that she'll come in 40th place, so last place with 1400, and she can range from 35th to 40th place. A lot of the Reddit thinks that she'll place over 35th, but rewatching her stream, she's not that strong of a player. I don't want to be mean or anything, but she's not that strong of a player, so I think she'll end up coming 39th despite having Fruit Ninja on her team. In 38th place, I have Rendog on the Purple Pandas. His average score is 1548, which is 33rd place, and my stats tell me that he'll come in 39th place roughly with 1450 points. He can range from probably 34th to 38th this event because there's a lot of good players. That's why I think Rendog will come 38th. In 37th place, I have KarlJacobs. Just like Shubble, her average score tells us that she'll place a lot higher with 1821, and even my stats tell me that she'll place higher with 1600. I think her score can range from 29th to 37th. It depends how good the Aqua Axolotls will do. Personally, I don't think that they're going to do that well, which is why I placed Kara in 37th. In 36th, I have Nihachu. Her average score is 1163, which is second last, and my stats tell me that she'll come 35th with 1600. Her score can range from quite a small margin from 34th to 38th. I think 36th is the position that Nihachu will place. In 35th, I have KarlJacobs on the Cyan Coyotes. His average score with the 2 events that he's played is 1408, which is 34th place, and my stats tell me that he'll come 37th place with 1550 points, and his score can range from 32nd to 36th. I don't think we're going to see anything special come out of KarlJacobs this event, but his teammates might, so we will see. In 34th place, I have the Eret on the Aqua Axolotls. His average score is 1807, which is 31st place out of 37. My stats tell me that he will come 36th, so pretty low, with 1600 points, but his score can range, I'm gonna guess 30th to 34th. Similar to Kara, his score can range from how good the Aqua Axolotls will do. I say Axolotls funny. In 33rd place, we have KryticZeuz on the Pink Parrots. His average score is 1214, which brings him to 35th place, and my stats tell me that he'll come 32nd with 1700 points. His score can range from 27th to 34th. The Reddit thinks that he's going to place above 25th. Rewatching the Simmers stream, he's nothing phenomenal, so I highly doubt that KryticZeuz will place higher than 27th at the most, but I don't think that he will place any lower than 34th. In 32nd place, we have Gemini. We don't know what her average score is because she hasn't participated in an MCC, but my stats say that she'll be around 34th place with around 1,600 points. On the Reddit, they predict that Gemini will place the highest out of the 3 newcomers, but I personally think that she will come 32nd with a range from 26th to 35th. In 31st, I have False Symmetry. Her average score is 29th with 1,849, and my stats say that she'll get 1,700 points, placing her in 31st. Her range is quite interesting because her score really increases when she plays with PeteZahHutt. This is her 3rd event that she's played with PeteZahHutt, and False's average score is usually pretty low on the spectrum, like probably on average 27th or so. The past 2 events that she's played with PeteZahHutt, she's came 15th and 16th, so her score can really vary, depends if she pops off or not. We will see when the event comes. In 30th, I put Cubfan from the Purple Pandas. His average score is 1,680, which places him in 32nd, and my stats say that he'll come 30th with 1,800. His score can really range from 24th to 31st. It depends how the Purple Pandas do in the event, which they can really place anywhere in this event. In 29th, we have the 2nd newcomer, Gumi. We don't know what her average score is again because she hasn't participated in an MCC, but my stats say that she will place 29th with 1,800 points or so. I've seen her play on the practice server a couple of times on Ace Race, and she seems to do pretty well, and her score can probably range from 26th to 34th. If it's anything higher, I think it'd be considered a pop-off. In 28th, we have fWhip. I don't think that fWhip's score is going to decrease because I believe he came 27th and then 25th, or vice versa, the 2 MCCs that he's played in. But I do think his score is going to increase, but I don't think his position is going to increase because there's a lot of good players in this MCC. His average score is 1,923, which places him in 26th, and my stats predict a 25th with 1,975 points. His range can vary from 23rd to 28th, considering that the Green Geckos aren't the strongest team, but fWhip is definitely an interesting guy to watch. In 27th, we have the last newcomer, the one that I think that will place the highest, is Sneegsnag. Again, we don't know what his average score is, but my stats predict that he'll come 24th or so with a score of 2,000. His score can range from 22nd to 29th. I think that his skill is pretty close to the rest of the players on the blue bats, like KingBurren, Vixella, and Wisp, but we will see how he places in the MCC, because MCC is way different from Minecraft itself. In 26th, I put fWhip. Again, just like Kara and Shubble, I put him quite a bit lower than what his average score tells me. His average score is 2,179, which is actually 16th, but my stats tell me that he'll come 28th with 1,950 or so. His range is quite big though, ranging from 18th to 26th. I really hope that fWhip does really well in this event, so then the Lime Llamas can get to Dodge Bolt. That is what I am hoping for. In 25th, I had to put Smajor with an average score of 2,401 in 12th place. His average score says that he'll place a lot higher, but he's not on that strong of a team this MCC. He has had some pop-off events, which is why I said he can range from 15th to 19th or 23rd to 27th. In 24th, we have KingBurren. His average score is 2,118, which puts him in 20th, and my stats say that he'll come 27th with 1,950 coins. So we will see how he does. I think his range will be from 21st to 26th or so, and he hasn't participated in an MCC since MCC 12, so we will see how he does on the blue bats. In 23rd place, I put Cap.Sparklez himself. Again, I put him a lot lower than his average score. His average score tells me that he'll come 13th or so with 2,388, and my stats tell me that he'll come 17th with a score of 2,175. I don't have anything against Cap.Sparklez, I just don't think that he's on that strong of a team this MCC, which is going to crash his score a little bit, but it's hard to put Cap.Sparklez this low for sure. His range can definitely vary from 17th to 23rd, but it's possible that he pops off this event and gets higher. In 22nd, I put Wilbur with an average score of 2,042, which places him in 23rd place, and again, my stats score tells me that he'll come 23rd as well, but his range can really vary from 16th to 19th or 22nd to 25th. Again, it depends how the Yellow Yaks do. In 21st place, I put Solidarity with an average score of 1,965, which puts him in 25th, but my stats tell me that he'll come 26th, so just one position lower, but I think his range can vary from 21st to 26th. I don't think that he'll place any higher than 21st, but it's a possibility that he will because he's an underrated player, but we will see how he does on the Lime Llamas this MCC. In 20th place, I put Phil's a Minecraft with an average score of 2,525, which is 9th place, and my stats tell me that he'll come in 21st with 2,100 points. Last MCC, Philza didn't do phenomenal, but it's possible that he can come back this MCC. His range is really varied from 11th to 15th or 18th to 22nd. Halfway through the list, in 19th place, we have JackManifold. His average score is 1,896, which puts him in 27th place, but he's only been in 3 MCCs, so he has potential to pop off, which I think he will on the Green Geckos. My stats tell me that he'll come in 19th place with 2,100 coins, and his range can vary from 18th to 23rd. In 18th place, I put Ponk on his 2nd MCC. His average score is 2,079, which puts him in 22nd. And since that's only his first MCC, that's very good. So I think that he'll come. My stats tell me that he'll come 16th with a score of 2,180. And his position can vary from 16th to 20th. It depends how Cyan Coyotes do in these events. In 17th place, I put Ranboo with an average score of 2,126, which puts him in 18th place. And my stats tell me that he'll come in 22nd with 2,050 points. Again, the Yellow Yaks aren't the strongest team. I definitely think that Ranboo's the strongest player on their team, so he has potential to pop off in this event. With that said, I only think that he'll come 17th, although his range can vary from 13th to 18th or even lowest 25th to 27th because the Yellow Yaks are going to be unpredictable this MCC. In 16th place, we have Grian. His average score is 1,989, which puts him in 24th place, but my stats tell me that he'll place way higher in 14th place with 2,275 points. In last MCC, Grian really showed us what he was made of, placing 11th overall, even higher than PeteZahHutt, one of his team members this MCC. It was by far his best event, so we'll see what he can do this MCC. I predict that his range can vary from 15th to 17th or 24th to 27th, depending on how PeteZahHutt does. In 15th spot, we have Wisp. His average score is 2,125, which is 19th, but my stats tell me that he'll come in 18th place with 2,175. I placed him a little higher than these positions because I think that Wisp is the strongest player on the Blue Bats, and I think that he has a potential to pop off this MCC. I definitely think that 15th is the highest that he can place, and the lowest that he will place is 22nd. In 14th place, I put Tubbo. His average score is 2,238, which is 15th place, and my stats tell me that he'll come 13th with 2,275. He's on a very strong team this MCC, and I think that he'll play very well. His range varies as high as 11th place to 14th place or 17th to 20th. I really hope Tubbo does well this MCC so then the Red Rabbits can pop off. In 13th place, I put HBomb. His average score is 2,715, which places him in 8th, and my stats tell me that he'll come around 12th with 2,300 points. HBomb didn't do too well, unfortunately, last MCC, which caused the Yellow Yaks to only come in 5th place while George Not Found popped off. I think his placement can range from 8th to 13th if he really does well because the H factor can never be underestimated, but last MCC he didn't do phenomenal, so I think there's a definite possibility that he can place 16th to 18th as well. In 12th place, I put SB737. His average score is 2,151, which places him in 17th place. My stats say that he'll come in 11th place with 2,325 coins. Again, his score really varies on how PeteZahHutt does this MCC, so his range of coins can vary from 10th to 15th. In 11th place, I put In the Littlewood, aka Martyn, and I do think that Martyn will place higher than HBomb this MCC, just with his practice of grid runners and his grinding on Minecraft, and HBomb's not very well performance last MCC. I think that Martyn will place higher than HBomb, even though his average score is 2,090, which is only 21st, My stats tell me that he'll come 15th with 2,275, but I'm going to ignore my stats by a little bit. I think that Martyn's going to do very well this MCC with HBomb, Rendog, and Cubfan. I definitely think that it's a possibility that he places 9th or 10th in this MCC, but it's also a possibility that the Purple Pandas don't do too well and he places 16th to 18th as well. Now we're in the top 10, and our first on the top 10 is Tommylnnit. His average score is 2,407, which is 11th place, and my stats tell me that he'll come in 10th place as well with 2,375. Last MCC, Tommy didn't do very well, placing I believe 33rd overall, and the Red Rabbits coming 9th, but I definitely think with Dream on his team this MCC, he will definitely pop off and do very well this event. I think that his highest position will be 7th, and that can range to 10th, but it's also a possibility that BuildMart plays last and he places 16th to 20th. In 9th place we have George Not Found. His average score is 2,254, which is only 14th, but my stats also tell me that he will get 2,425 coins. Last MCC, George popped off carrying his team, and now this MCC he has Sapnap on his team to bring his score even higher. I do think that 9th is the highest position that he will get, and that can range to 16th as well, but Red Rabbits are a very strong team with a lot of good chemistry that I think that George is going to place top 10 this MCC. In 8th place I put Antfrost, the team leader of the Aqua Axolotls. His average score is 2,416, which is 10th overall, which is incredible for his 3rd MCC, and my stats tell me that he'll come 8th overall as well, with 2,475. The Aqua Axolotls will be a very unpredictable team. I do think that Antfrost's top position will be 8th to 11th, and if the Aqua Axolotls don't do too well, he will get 15th to 17th. From here on out, my stats score position matches all of the positions that I put them in, so I'm not going to bother saying it. In 7th place, I put fruitberries on the pink parrots. His average score is 3,029, which is 3rd overall, and his score can range from 4th to 7th, and from 11th to 14th if he doesn't do too well this MCC with KryticZeuz and Vixella on his team. Even though fruitberries placed 3rd last MCC, I don't think he will place that high this MCC. In 6th place, I put PeteZahHutt with an average score of 2,340, which is by far 1st overall. He will be very unpredictable this MCC. He can range from 1st to 6th, or again, poop himself and get 11th to 13th as well. He does have a very strong team this MCC, but last time I picked Pete's team to win the whole event, his internet decided to crash, placing his team in 8th, losing me my bet against my friend. I put him in 6th this MCC because I don't think he's going to do as well as he does in previous events, but we will see when the time comes. In 5th, I put Dream. His average score is 3,016, which is 4th overall, and his position range goes from 3rd to 7th. The Cyan Coyotes are going to be a very interesting team this MCC, and it's definitely going to be a team to watch. I'm surprised that Smajor put Dream on such a strong team again. He could potentially win his 5th MCC as well. In 4th place, I put Punz. Even though he came 1st overall last MCC, I do think that he's going to place 4th this MCC. His average score is 2,971, which is 6th overall, and the Green Geckos aren't too strong of a team. He's definitely the strongest player by far, so I do think that 4th is the highest placement that he will get, and I think that will range to 9th place as well. In 3rd place, I put Illumina. His average score is 2,780, which is 7th overall, but Illumina is such a strong player. His score can range from 1st to 5th this MCC. It's definitely a possibility that he comes 1st this MCC. The Fruit Ninja team is definitely a team to watch out for. 2nd overall, I put Sapnap. His average score is 3,006, which is 5th overall, but he can definitely come 1st this MCC, and if the Red Rabbits end up not popping off, I think that the lowest that he can place is 6th place. And in 1st place, I put Quig. His average score is 3,151, which is 2nd overall. And the Lime Llamas are a very interesting team this MCC, so I think his score can range from 1st to 6th. I think that this is the MCC where Quig becomes the best MCC player, outranking Pete, and I am never wrong. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you realize that I just spoiled the entire MCC for you guys because this is exactly where everyone is placing. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. It was probably pretty boring. I hope the music in the background kept you entertained. But hey, you're the one that clicked the video. You know what you were getting into. Have a good one, fellas. In 12th place, I put SB737. I said that so wrong. Chevron. I'm so stupid. I think that her score can range though from 29th to I think her range I think her score can range from quite a large margin from 29th to holy shit.